Yeah. Tanvir, it has started.
Okay, sure. Thanks, Aditi. Okay, hi all. Good morning. First of all, is my voice audible to everyone? Is my screen visible?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Thank you, thank you. So let me introduce myself. And first of all, thanks a lot for joining this course. And let me introduce about myself. So I am Mohammed Tanvir Khan. I have close to 11 years of experience in IT industry, working on data warehouse, database, and ETL technologies. SQL, Unix, Python are my primary skill sets. So, at a very high level, that is all about me. And, currently, I am associated with one of the MNCs. And then coming to this course, so this is the agenda. Hope you can see at my screen. So, during our SQL journey, we will be covering all this topics. You can see we are starting from scratch, create, insert, how to create a table, and we'll go till advanced functions like lead, lag, rank, and dense line. So overall, the story is these topics are sufficient if you are planning for the below roles. If you're planning for data engineer, if you're planning for data analyst, if you're planning for data scientist, business analyst, okay? So these topics are more than enough to crack the interviews or if you're working in this job profile. Okay, so these are more than enough. And the classes will be on from Monday to Friday. Timing will be 7 to 8:15. Okay. We have asked that if it is fine for everyone to join till 8:30. So, but few of you have concern, you have office timing. So we have reduced that to 8:15. But still, if 8:15 again, if you have some concern, you can let us know. Okay, we will change this to 8. Okay, but I will request if you can manage till 7 to 8:15, that will be good. Okay. And the course will start from scratch. We assume that our students they don't know anything about SQL. So that is why everything will start from scratch. No prerequisite is needed. Even if you don't have any prior knowledge of SQL, database, data warehouse, not an issue. Okay. That was first thing. Second thing, after each and every class, Aditi will be sharing with you the classroom notes. And this session is totally hands-on, totally practical. No theory, no PPT, nothing. You can see on this platform. On this platform, this is Oracle platform. On this platform, we will be running ports and we will be working on this Microsoft SQL Server as well. So generally, we prefer these two platforms. First one is Oracle and the other one is Microsoft SQL Server. But yes, you can try on any other platform wherever you want to work. There is no restriction. Okay. Now, how to install this? I will share a link for this Microsoft SQL Server installation. You can install this, but if you're working on official laptop, so you have to be careful. Maybe they will not allow you. So in that case, you can use this one, Oracle Live SQL platform. Okay. So this is very simple. Okay. Here, just you have to go in Google and type Oracle Live SQL. You can see it is mentioned here, livesql.oracle, or write Oracle Live SQL, anything on a Google page. And then a new page will open. It will ask for your you have to create your account there. So you have to give your first name, last name, email ID, a password. That's all. So then an account will be created, and every time you have to log in through that account. You can see it is giving my username. Okay. So through this you can log in and you can practice it. It is not a big deal. But you are free. Suppose if you are trying on some other platform, many other platforms are also there. You can practice. You can try on that. But I have explored many other platforms. They have some restrictions, some limitations are there. So finally, we have concluded this platform and we'll be practicing on Oracle Live SQL only. But again, I'm repeating, you are free. You can practice on any platform wherever you want. And if you're getting stuck, you can connect with me. That's the first thing. Second thing is, I follow a strict pattern here. Suppose I will start from create table. or to create table, then I will go to insert. Suppose if I am teaching create and insert, and assume you have some problem in this order by clause, because I know few of you have some prior knowledge of SQL. So in that case, if you have some problem in the order by clause or some other keyword, okay. So I will not be discussing that in the class because we have faced this earlier, that if I'm teaching create and insert and someone is having problem in distinct, and if I jump from here to distinct, the freshers or those who are from non-technical background, they get confused, okay, and they will feel frustrated. So that is why we will follow a strict pattern like this only. If you have any confusion which is not in this sequence, not in the particular day's agenda, you can connect with me after class. Sometimes it happens that you're working in a project and you're getting stuck in a query, or you have some interviews and you need some clarification. So in that case, you can connect with me after class. We will help you. Okay. And yes, we provide offline support as well. So if you are getting stuck somewhere, you can let me know and we'll discuss that. 1 minute, my battery is getting down. Okay, fine. So you can connect with me after class as well. Yes, sometime I'll be occupied in some other commitment, but sure, I will get back to you. If you think it is something urgent, you can call me directly. Okay. Now, the session is totally interactive session. Okay, try to make the session interactive. Ask whatever question is coming in your mind. Don't feel shy. Okay, don't wait for the end of the class that, okay, once this class is over, then only I will ask. No, you're free to ask question whenever, wherever you want. Okay, don't feel shy in that. And I encourage my students to please make the session interactive, ask question. Because the more questions you're asking, I will be able to deliver more contents. Okay, otherwise that will become a ritual session. Okay, so that's all from the course curriculum and the pattern how we follow. Over to you guys. Do you have any question before I proceed further? Any clarification you need? All good? Okay, yeah. And the duration of this course will be close to 1.5 months. Okay. Shall I proceed further? Is that fine? Can anyone please tell me? Okay, no questions, right? Okay. Okay, so now let's start with our SQL course. Before that, I will tell you why SQL these days it is getting like in demand like anything. Because these days you are staying in data era. All the projects, all the applications, all the companies, they want to understand the data, because the more you understand the data, the more you can understand how your business is performing. So to understand your data, it is very important, because your business profit, loss, everything is hidden behind data only. So the more you can analyze data, the more you can slice and dice, you can do visualization, the more you will get better insights in your business. So that is why SQL is a language which will help you to get a better visualization for that the data. Okay. Now I have a question. We have Excel, right? You can say this is an Excel, and we can save and we can store data in Excel. Okay, and we can do some calculation as well on Excel. We can apply filters as well on Excel. Then why SQL? What is the need? Who will answer this?
To retrieve and analyze the data.
So that you can do using Excel as well, no?
Okay, Excel has a limitation of near about 10 lakh rows. You can put in
Good.
one sheet there are 10 lakh rows. In SQL, there is nothing.
Good, good.
It can
That
still
is
huge
good.
amount of data.
SQL
Good,
can
good,
handle
good.
large data as well, which
To
Good.
save data in a structured way.
Okay, good, good. Any other answer?
Because it is a not a active data source. It is a non-active data source, and SQL is a relational data source.
Okay,
you
okay.
can put filters easily
Almost
in
correct.
SQL rather than Excel.
Sorry, I didn't get you. Can you repeat?
We can even normalize and denormalize the tables.
Normalization, denormalization, you can do on Excel as well. Okay, we will discuss that. No issues. Then
Maintain the relationship between the tables.
Maintain the relationship to a certain extent, correct, but that you can achieve using Excel as well. Okay, fine, but good, yeah, good. Okay, see, very good. You all have almost the answers were correct. Very good. You all know that these days SQL is in huge demand. If you open LinkedIn, search any job profile, job description, JD, you will see here and there SQL will be mentioned. I think you all will agree, right? If you're working on front end, they want SQL. If you're working on back end, they want SQL. If you're a full stack developer, they want SQL, right? It's in huge demand. And those who are from non-technical background, so this is the very simple path to enter the IT industry. So that is why these days, those who are from non-technical, they're entering into IT field through the SQL only. And I have many examples. Many of my students from previous batch, they have been selected in multiple MNCs. And even I am surprised in certain cases that they are from non-technical background, and they got job in some of the big MNCs of India, and they're getting good packages. So why I'm telling this story? So those who are from non-technical background, if you are making this SQL as your bread and butter, so world is open for you in IT industry. Okay, but you have to master it. Okay. And on a daily basis, I will be sharing the classroom recording, classroom notes, and assignments. You can see the assignment will be like this. This is the format of assignment. Daily, you will be getting 10 questions or 8 questions, something like that, or sometime more than that. So you have to work on this assignment and share the solution with me. I'll be evaluating that and I will share the feedback. There is a fixed format in which you have to share the assignment. I will share that format down the line. Okay. So overall good. Excel is having limitation on the number of data which you can store. Again, if you want to fetch a data, I agree that we can do that using Excel, but that is little bit complicated as compared to SQL. If you have good expertise in SQL, quickly you can write a query and you can fetch the data whatever you want, right? So that's the best part. And again, yes, SQL is like something automated. You can connect the data source to a source system and you can pull the data and you can do whatever you want. Okay, we will see the benefits down the line. Okay, before that, let's just start with this. Suppose this is a very simple and very traditional our employee table. Okay, in this employee table, suppose I have this column employee ID, I have employee name, I have salary, and this is the location, and suppose this is the department. Okay, so this is a table, and suppose this is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and employee name is A, B, C, D, E. Salary is 100, something else there. Location is suppose Delhi, Chennai, Mumbai, Bangalore. Suppose this is Hyderabad. Okay. And department is tech, sales, operations, HR, research. So just some dummy data I have taken. Okay. So this is your table. Similarly, in your SQL, first of all, we will try to understand how to create a table. Okay, so here I am showing you one sample date table, and the table name is employee. Okay, this is the name of the table, employee. In SQL, you are free. You can create table with any name. There is no restriction. Only restriction is you should not use the reserved keyword. We will discuss down the line that what is reserved keyword, what is user-defined keyword, and all these things. Okay. But right now, just understand that whenever you are trying to create a table in SQL, you can create a table with any name. You can keep any name. There is no restriction. Only the restriction is it should not be the reserved keyword. Okay. Then this all are known as columns. Employee ID is the first column. employee name, this is second column, salary, third column, location, fourth column, department, fifth column. So in this table, if I will ask you how many columns you have, so you have total 5 columns, right? Employee ID, employee name, salary, location, and department. So these all are the columns. So in this table, you have 5 columns. Okay, so these are known as columns. Now there is a question, especially for freshers. In a table, how many columns can you create in a table? Is there any restriction? Any answer, guys? Anyone? Is there any restriction on the number of columns in a table? Anyone who knows the answer, please share your thought. Don't worry that your answer is correct or incorrect. Whatever is coming in your mind, just okay. You believe that there is a
yes.
restriction. Okay, good. Any other thought, guys? Any other thought? Okay. See, there is no restriction on the number of columns in a table. Okay, you can create a table with 1 column only, or if there is a business need, you have to create a table with 100 columns, you can create a table with 100 columns. That is a different topic of discussion, that ideally how many columns should be there in a table. So ideally, it is suggested that your table should not contain more number of columns. There is a reason. The normalization will come into picture, performance will come into picture. We will discuss all those things on the line. Okay, I don't want to go into those concepts now. So as of now, if someone is asking you in a table, how many columns can you create or can store? So your answer should be that there is no limitation, there is no restriction. You can create n number of columns in a table. Is this clear? Any question on this? Okay. So here, for example, I have shown 5 columns, but suppose tomorrow you want to add date of birth. You can add date of birth as well, your wish. There is no restriction. Okay. Suppose next day you want to add some other information, like what is the designation. You can add that as well. So there is no restriction in this. So this was all about columns in a table. Now coming to rows or records. This is known as one row or one record. This is another row, or you can tell it as a record as well. This is the third record. This is the fourth record. This is the fifth record. So in this table, total I have 5 records. First, second, third, fourth, and fifth. Total 5 records are present in a table. Again, the same question you can ask. Is there any limitation on the number of records in a table? Do you think is there any limitation?
No.
I think no.
Good. Again, the answer is
No.
no. There is no restriction, no limitation on the number of records in a table. Again, there is a means when you will discuss performance aspects, how to optimize the query, we will see that okay, it is suggested not to keep more number of records in a table and blah blah blah. A lot of things will come. Okay. So there is no restriction on the number of columns. There is no restriction on the number of records or rows. Okay, that totally depends on your business use case and the transaction volume you are handling. Okay. Now, what is data? Generally, whenever I used to take interviews, students, they will get confused between record and data. See, this is one record. Okay. Okay. And this is one data. Employee with name. See, this is one data. Location Chennai. This is one data. HR. This is one data. Okay. So this is data and these are known as rows or records. So is this clear at a very high level? What is table, what is column, what are columns and what are records, rows? Okay. Why we create table? Because if you are doing your business or whatever, if you are handling the application in your organization, so you have to store data. Where you will store data? Correct. So for that we need table. Suppose in our house we have almirah, right, where we store where we keep our clothes. We have wardrobes where we keep our books. That is like a container, right? Similarly, to store data, we will create table and we will keep that inside that. We will insert data in that table. Again, there is a concept of a schema, table space, database, and all those things. Okay, if time permits, so that's not in the scope from SQL perspective that I will explain in that ETL. If time permits, we will look into that because I don't want to deviate from the topic. The main agenda is to introduce you to make you understand about SQL. Okay. So we'll discuss all those things on the line. So right now, just understand that table is like a container where you can store data, and then you can play with this data. You can extract the data as per the business requirement. You can understand that how the business is performing, what is the profit, what are the losses you have incurred, and year over year, what are the profit, month over month, what are the profit, and all those things. A lot of things are there. We will see all those things down the line. Before I proceed, like how to create a table, do you have any question here so far? Any question, guys, so far? Yes or no? No.
No.
Okay, good.
No. you're
Please
good.
ask questions, make the session interactive. Okay, now I will show you that this is what I have shown you on an Excel, that okay, how we used to create tables and what are these columns and the records. Okay, hope few of you know all these things. Fine. Now we will see that in the database, if I have to create this table and this columns and to insert these records, how we will do this. Okay, so that I will show you now. So we want to create a table employee. Okay. So first of all, whenever you want to create any table, first of all, you have to write create. Okay. This is known as reserved keyword. This is known as reserved keyword. What is reserved keyword? So generally you will see in the entire SQL world, you have two kinds of keywords, not only in SQL, but those who have worked on Java, Unix, Python, you know this. You have reserved keywords and then you have user defined keywords. Okay. Now, what are the reserved keywords? Reserved keywords are those keywords which have a special meaning in SQL world, like create. I'm telling this is a reserved keyword. Why? Because SQL engine have a special meaning for this. Now the question is, what is that a special meaning? So when you will write create, so your SQL engine will understand that the user wants to create something. User wants to create something. It is like a code word for SQL world. Okay. Then you're writing table. So when you will write create and table, the SQL engine will understand that, oh, user wants to create a table. Okay. So that is why create and table, they both are reserved keyword. Like when you're going to a restaurant, okay, sometimes you will see a table will be there and they will mention they're reserved. It means that has been reserved for someone. Someone has reserved that, right? If you're going to a shopping center, you will see a parking area, it will mention like reserved for the manager, right? It has been reserved. You cannot use that. Okay. Similarly, these words are reserved keyword for SQL world. They have a special meaning. They are like code words. You are not supposed to use it. Okay. So when you're writing create table, SQL engine will understand that the okay user wants to create a table. Then SQL engine will ask you, what is the name of the table, right? So you are mentioning here employee. I want to create a table with the name employee. The name of the table, there is no restriction. You can keep any name. I'm repeating it. You can keep any name, but take care not to keep the name of the reserved keyword. Suppose here you will tell that, okay, I want to create a table with the name create. So this will throw error message. I will show you that. Okay, this will throw error message. So whenever you are trying to create a table, don't use the reserved keyword. Apart from that, you can use any name. Okay. So far, I have mentioned create table employee. So my SQL engine will understand that, okay, user wants to create a table with the name employee. After that, you have to mention that what all columns you want, right? What all columns you want. So here I want employee ID. Okay. Then what I want? Employee name. Then what I want? Salary. Then I have department. Then I have location. Then I have department. Okay. So this is the syntax of creating a table in any platform. Okay. Whether you are working on SQL, Oracle, or any other platform. Don't get confused with the platform. Whenever I will start a new batch, most of the students, they will ask this question, that on which platform you will be working, I am working in my office on this platform, but you are teaching on this platform. Don't get confused, guys. SQL is a very generic language. It has been coined, or most of the keywords has been coined by ANSI. Okay, it is not a specific to a particular vendor. Okay. There are few keywords which are specific to a vendor, but those numbers are very less, close to 1% only. So don't get confused. SQL language is common whether you are working on any platform, even if you're working on Snowflake, same queries you will execute. So don't get confused with that. Okay.
Tanvi, sorry
Hmm.
to barge in. So,
Mhm.
is the keyword location also a reserved code? I mean, like, because out of the other criteria that you have mentioned, location alone seems to be into it. So, just asking if it's like, if it's, is it
Uh-huh.
again a risk?
No, no, no.
Okay.
Don't go with the colors now. Okay.
All right. All
Don't
right.
go with the colors. I got your point, valid concern that here this reserved keywords were in pink color. So this location is also coming in pink color. So don't go with uh, this logic. Okay. Is that clear? Have I answered your
Yeah.
question?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Good, good. So far I have written this a small piece of code. I am trying to create a table. I have mentioned to the SQL engine that SQL I want to create a table with the name employee, and these are the columns. Okay, employee ID one column, employee name, salary, location, and department. Okay. Now SQL engine will ask me that okay, fine, you want to create a table with the name employee, and these are the columns. So now tell me what kind of data you want to store. Okay. So that you have to mention here. So if I'm mentioning int means integer. So I'm telling to SQL engine that SQL and this employee ID column, I will use this integer. Like suppose when you're traveling in train, so when you will book ticket, okay, suppose you're booking ticket for Rajdhani. So they will ask that, no, that you want veg or non-veg, something like that, right? And accordingly, they will, once you will board the train, then they will give you that veg or non-veg, whatever you have preferred. So similarly, here it will ask you what you want. If you're writing int, so it will allow you to take numbers, okay? And here in what is this? This int is integer. So right now I'm not going in detail about that. That what is int and all those things. I know you'll be having question about data type. So that we'll discuss down the line. I don't want to explain that now. Employee name I will mention as varchar2 50. Again, you will be thinking that okay, what is this varchar2? Why you have written 50? And all those questions will be coming. You might be thinking that okay, can you remove this too? Can you keep varchar in my project? I'm writing varchar only. Some of you might be thinking that I'm using char only. I don't want to discuss all those things right now. In the separate topic, when we will discussing data type, I will explain you this. If you have some urgent need in your project, so you connect with me after class, I will explain that. So just right now, make a habit to understand it that whenever you want to store any numbers, integers, so make that column as int. Okay. And if you want to store something like characters, strings, make that as varchar2 50. Just go with this assumption. I'm repeating, I'm not telling you that the reason for this now. When we will discuss the data type class, I will tell you about all those things. So what is integer, what is number, what is varchar, why varchar2 is supported only in Oracle, why it is not supported in SQL Server, what is char, when to use char, when to use varchar, which one is better from performance as perspective. If I have less disk space, which one should I use? A lot of questions will be there in your mind, I know. So, but I don't want to explain that now. We will deviate from the topic. So when I will teach you about the data type, we will discuss all these things, okay? Similarly, salary is something about numbers, right? You will be storing salary numbers, no? 1000, 2000. So again, I mentioned this as int integer. Location, tell me for location, what should be the data type? Integer or varchar2? Which one should I keep here?
Varchar.
Where?
Varchar2.
Very good, very good. So for location, we will keep it varchar2 because location is about strings or characters. So just remember that for anything strings or characters, we will mention varchar2 50. Guys, here I am telling you not to ask question on this. There is a specific reason, but down the line, whatever I'm teaching, please ask question that why this, why that, why SQL engine is behaving like this, because I know many of you, you know how to write queries, but I know that you are joining this course that You want to write complex SQL queries. You might have seen my LinkedIn page. I used to post complex SQL queries, and that is why you came here. To write complex SQL queries, it is very important to understand how the SQL engine is working. Okay, how each and every keyword is different from the other keywords. How each and every keyword they behave with a duplicate, how they behave with a null, which logic when you have to use. Okay, so that is the main agenda of my training course. So we will discuss all those things, why, what, where, and all those things. Okay. Now for department, again, department is something characters or strings. So same thing we will use here, varchar2, and we will keep it here 50. You will be thinking, why is this 50? Can I make it 100? You can keep it 100, no issues. What is the significance of this? We will discuss down the line. Now to run this, just do one thing at the end, put colon. Okay. Here, even if you're not putting colon, that's not a problem, it will work. But in most of the platform, you will see that you have to keep colon at the last. So it will be better if you make it a habit, always keep colon at the last. Select this query, and then here you can see this green color run button is there. Just click on this. Okay. So now you are seeing it is showing as table is created. Okay. Now, if you want to confirm that, okay, a table is created or not. So for that, you have a keyword DESC. DESC is again a reserved keyword. Okay. And this, the meaning of this is describe. Okay. So you're asking SQL engine to describe. So if I will write here DESC employee, so SQL engine will understand that, okay, user is asking me to describe this table employee. So now you can see the output. It is describing, no? So the first of all, the table name is employee. That is correct. Now look at the columns. You have column employee ID. Yes, it is present here. Second column is employee name. It is there. The salary is there, location and department. So what all columns we have added in this employee table? All the columns are coming here. Second one is null. Ignore this as of now. We will discuss this down the line, that what is this null, why it is coming blank here, and all those stuff. Okay. Third is type. So this is known as data type. Okay. So you can see it is mentioned number here. So you might be confused that Tanvir, here you have mentioned employee ID as INT, but it is taking here as a number. So on Oracle platform, you can write INT or you can use number. They both are one and the same. There is no you should not be confused about that. Suppose if you want to keep it as a number, you can keep it as a number. If you want to keep it as INT, you can keep it as INT. It is your wish. Okay, there is no restriction. But if you're working on SQL Server, if you're working on this platform, SQL Server, so you have to use INT only. I will show you some examples. There is create table. You see, I have created a passenger table. I have written here INT. If you write here number, this will throw error message. Okay, but again, I'm telling I'm not going in those details now. In separate class, I will tell you what is data type, which data type is accepted on which platform, why it is not accepted on other platform. So that is a different topic of discussion. Okay. Similarly, you can see employee name. It is mentioned varchar250. You have kept employee name as varchar250. Same thing is coming here. Similarly, you can verify for all the other columns and the data type. So once you will look, execute this describe DESC employee. So this will give you the structure of table what you have created, and you can cross verify that everything is correct or not. Okay. So far we have seen that how to create a table, how to add columns, and how to mention the data type. Okay. And then we have seen that first, once the table is created, so if you want to verify it, you have to use this DESC describe command. This is a reserved keyword, and you have to just write the table name which you have created. The meaning of this line number 2 is you are asking SQL engine, that SQL, please describe the table which I have created now. So you can see it is describing it, that yes, these are the columns you have added, and this is the corresponding data type of each and every column. Null, intentionally I'm not telling now. We will discuss about this down the line. Before I proceed further, any question on this so far? Any question?
Yeah, Tanvir, I'm having one question actually.
Yeah, please.
So you're saying, I mean, creatively employee, we are mentioning as an employee. So some of the platform, I mean, in the SaaS, for example, in SaaS, it will not start with underscore or something else. So this is applicable for this also. I mean, if you're giving any.
those limitations are there. We will discuss about that. Number
Sure.
should not be there, underscore should not be there. When you have to use underscore, that thing I will discuss. Okay, and right now I'm showing very simple, very straightforward scenario, and this is the pattern I follow. Suppose if I'm teaching you joins, so first of all I will show you very straightforward scenario of join. Then slowly I will complicate that. Then I will show you duplicates in joins, then null in join, then blank in join, and all those things. We will see that underscore part, the numbers, the special characters, and all those things.
Thanks.
Okay. No problem. Any other question?
Tanvir, if we remove first line, then also we would be getting same response.
Which line number you are telling?
If we only use describe employee function.
Oh, you are telling if I will remove this line.
Yeah.
Okay, see, very good question. See, when you have written this line, the first line, create table and all those things, okay, and I have executed, and if you have noticed, before executing this line number 2, I have executed line number 1, right? I executed this, and then you have seen that it was showing output as table created, correct? So once you have executed this, then the table is already created in the database. Now, even if you will remove this, let me show you. I am removing it. That will not make any impact on this. Why? Because table is already created. Even if you will remove it, that's not a problem. The SQL engine will show you the output of this. You see, still you are getting the output because this employee table is already created in the database. So when you're writing this tribe employee, your SQL engine will go into the database. It will search for this employee table, and then it will show you the structure. So this query, which is in line number 2, it don't have to do anything with the line number 1 query, whether it is present here or not present here. Once you have executed line number 1, it means you have created the employee table. Now, even if you want, you can delete this line number 1. That's not a problem. Is that clear?
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, good. When I will be teaching you CT expression, the temporary table, there it is very important that the queries which you have written before this, that must have to be there. Okay, so when we will discuss those things, then we will again discuss this particular point. Okay. Any other question, guys? Okay, fine. So far we have created a table, and so far we have created a table. We have added certain columns, and I have shown you that yes, table is created. What next? After creation of table, we have to insert data, right? Because that is the main objective of creating a table. So now how to insert data? There are multiple ways of inserting data in a table. Okay. So first of all, I will show you a very traditional, very straightforward method. So first of all, when you want to insert data, one minute. Okay. So whenever you want to insert data in a table, so what you have to do, you have to write first of all insert into. So this insert into is again a reserved keyword. Okay. The moment you will write insert into, the SQL engine will understand that oh, user wants to insert something. Then SQL engine will ask you that where you want to insert. You have to mention the table name, because in database you have n number of tables, 10 tables, 20 tables, 100 tables, even 1000 tables. So you have to tell the address that in which table you want to insert data. So that is why after insert into, you have to write the table name. So SQL engine will understand that oh, user wants to insert some data into this table. Okay. Then you have to write values. What all values you want to add. Now here I want full concentration. Okay, this is going to be something critical and important and confusing as well. Okay. So here I will write 1, and name is A. Suppose salary is 100 and location is Delhi, and then department is suppose tech. I don't know what I mentioned in the Excel sheet, so some dummy values I'm taking. Okay, so this is what I have mentioned. I'm telling to SQL engine that SQL I want to insert into this employee table, and these are the values 1, A, 100, daily tick. So this one means this first column employee ID. Second, this A is your employee name. Third one, 100 is your salary. And then Delhi is your location. Tech is your department. One more thing, very important. After each and every column data, you have to mention comma here. You can see it. I have mentioned comma. I've written comma here. No? So again, I have written comma here. So you have to separate each and every data by comma. Okay. Now I am executing this query. So SQL engine is showing that one row inserted. It means this particular row or this particular record is inserted into the table. Okay. Now I want to cross verify. I want to check that whether this record is inserted or not. So for that, what you have to do, you have to write this query select. So when you will write select, select is again the reserved keyword of SQL. When you will write select, SQL engine will understand that, okay, user wants some data. User wants to fetch some data. User is asking data from database. You see, insert was different. Insert means you are trying to insert data in a table. But select means you are asking, you are fetching, you want some data from the table. Then you have to write a star. A star means you want everything, all the columns. Okay, select a star from employee. So when I'm writing select a star from employee, so I'm telling to SQL engine that SQL, I want all the columns. A star means everything, all the column. Okay, I want all the column from this employee table. You see, if you notice here, in each and every this is script, whatever I've written, line number 1, line number 2, line number 5, line number 6, everywhere I have mentioned the table name. Okay, and the reason is in the database on which you are working, you have n number of tables. Okay, so if you will not mention table name, the SQL engine will get confused that from which table user is asking data. So that is why explicitly you have to mention the table name, that from which table you want. Here I have written select a star from employee. So I'm telling to SQL engine that SQL, I want columns and all the details from this employee table. Okay, let me run this. Okay, you can see the output. Employee ID 1, employee name is A, salary is 100, location Delhi, department is tech. The same information what we have inserted, we got this as an output. Okay. Now, okay, before I proceed further, any questions so far?
Can we insert multiple records?
For insert multiple records, we have a separate syntax. You can use insert all into, and then many other things are there for inserting multiple values. I will show you that, okay, how to insert multiple. But practically, when you are working in project, very rarely you will use this one. Okay, very rarely we use this, because generally what happens, suppose if you're getting 1 million record in a particular day, so you cannot create this 1 million insert scripts. In that case, what we used to do is we will extract data from the Excel sheet or whatever you have, .csv, .dat, .txt format. We will extract data from there. So this is just sometime when randomly you have to insert data, we use this script. To answer your question that Tanvir, suppose if I have to insert 100 records, so do you think that I have to write the same query 100 times? No, there are shortcuts for that. We will discuss it. Okay, insert all into and all those things are there. We'll discuss all those things. Have I answered your question?
Yes. Okay.
Okay, we will look into all those things here. Okay, but let me show you now. Actually, deviate from that, but let me show you. This is there. See, this kind of keywords you can use to insert into multiple records. Okay, we'll discuss all those things. Okay, don't worry.
Okay.
And any other question apart from this?
Yes, Tanvir. So instead of you are coding as an A, right? So instead of that, we can give maybe 2 or 3. It is described to the where character 2, right? So will it be displayed or not?
This instead of A, you are telling.
Yep.
Here you are telling.
Yep.
Instead of A, what you want?
If you are giving a number.
Number. Okay. Yeah, I will. Okay, right now I will explain up and that only. Okay, so far, hope this is clear, right? Okay, now there are multiple questions, multiple concepts here. We'll discuss all those things one by one. First thing is, suppose here, now I want to insert second record with the ID 2. And suppose I have written here TWO2. Okay, now I'm trying to insert second record, another record, whose employee ID is 2. I have written here 2, and suppose name is B, and salary is 200, and location is Chennai. And here department is sales. Let me insert this data. It is throwing error message. Okay, why? Because the reason is here employee ID is integer, right? Employee ID is integer. And what you are trying to insert? You are trying to insert a characters or a string. So whenever any column, if you have mentioned as integer, you have to insert only integer. You cannot insert any character or string. Is this clear? Okay. So if you have mentioned any column as integer, it will accept only integer. Now here, suppose if I will write 2, see, I will execute the same query. Nothing. See, now it is inserted. Okay. Now if you want to verify the data, select a star from employee, run the same query again. Now see, another record is inserted here. 2B, 200, Chennai. So what we understood from this is, if any column, if you have mentioned as int integer, so it will accept only integers or numbers. If you're trying to insert characters or strings, it will not accept it. It will throw error message. Okay. Now, similar behavior we will try to understand for varchar. Suppose I want to insert a new record 3. Okay. His name is C. Suppose salary is 300. Location is Bangalore. And here it is, suppose from HR. Now, suppose what happened by mistake here, instead of HR, I have given some number. Something mistake happened. Okay. Instead of department, I have to write HR. I have written some number here. Now I'm trying to insert this. Do you got any error message?
No.
No error message. So I was surprised that for department, the data type was varchar 250. And I have mentioned you earlier that whenever you want to store any characters or strings, you have to use varchar 250. Again, I'm repeating, I'm not going into that discussion that can I use varchar, char and all those things. For the time being, just understand, go with this assumption that whenever you want to store characters or strings, you have to use varchar 250. So I'm surprised that in the integer column, the employee ID, it was integer. I have passed some characters or string. You might have seen I've written TWO2. It was throwing error message, right? But here in department, if it is accepting only characters or strings, here I have passed number, integers. Why it is not throwing error message? And let's verify the data. Like star from employee. Oh, data is also inserted successfully. You can see 8787 is inserted successfully. So what you concluded from this? Who will explain this?
Because of the single quote.
Yes.
Because of the single quotes. Okay, good. Now let me insert a new record. Okay, employee ID 4. 4 and suppose name is D. Salary is 400. And this is Hyderabad. And I'm removing this quotes here. Okay. And I'm giving some number again, some random number I'm giving. Okay. Now, you told me in this case that Tanvir here you have given quotes, right? So that is why it has accepted and this was stored in this table. Now, in this example, I'm not keeping it within quotes. Okay. Now, let's see. Oh, again, one record is inserted. Let's verify the data. Oh, that's great. Data is inserted successfully. Now, tell me what is the reason.
So can number can be a string, but string cannot be a number.
Yeah. Can you repeat again? Sorry, someone was telling.
Number can be string, but string cannot be number, because we can see 8787. It will be change the alignment. Left to right.
Okay.
Left, sorry.
I think Tanvir, whenever we specify varchar, it can take number as well as string, but it will consider as a string only at the end,
Okay.
even if you are
Good.
inserting the number.
Okay. See, the straight answer is if you have mentioned a particular column as integer, I repeat, if you have mentioned a particular column as integer, it will accept only integer, only number. That's all. If you're passing character or a string, it will not accept it. It will throw error message. Now, coming to varchar to 50. If you have mentioned a column as varchar to 50, it will accept everything. You pass number, you pass a string, you pass character, anything. It will accept all the things. It will be converted in integer or character. That's a different topic of discussion. We will discuss to underscore char, then we will discuss all these things. Is this clear now? Whether you keep it in quotes, you don't keep it in quotes, that doesn't matter. The concept is if it is varchar to 50, it will accept everything, integer, number, everything, characters, everything. If you have mentioned explicitly integer, it will accept only integer. If you're passing characters or strings, it will throw error message. Is this clear? Any question on this?
Yeah, Tanvir, it is clear, but just a small doubt. So, I mean, is there an impact where we, and if at all, if we change it
Yeah.
to varchar 200, I mean, is there an impact or it's just the numbers, but the basic outline remains the same?
Here you are telling?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay, let me tell them that. Actually, this 100, no, in varchar 2, whatever you are writing inside is 10, 50, 100, or whatever you are trying to write, okay. That is actually you are allocating a spaces. Okay, you are allocating a space. Let me explain that. Suppose now I am creating a table, salary. Okay, I'm creating a table salary, and here this is the name varchar 2, and suppose I have kept it 5. Okay, and this is the salary. This is integer. Okay, so I'm running this. Table is created. Okay, I'm trying to insert record into this. Insert into salary values. Name is Anand. Suppose salary is 100 rupees. Very simple example I'm taking. Okay. So one row is inserted. If you want to verify this, you can write select a star from salary. Okay. So you see the data is inserted. Very good. Everything is fine. Now, I'm trying to insert a new record. Suppose name is Tanvir and salary is 200. I am trying to insert this record. Okay, it is throwing some error message. Value too large for column salary.name. Actual it is 7. Maximum it is 5. Now let's try to understand why it is throwing error message. For the same salary table, earlier in line number 13, you can see I have inserted a record with name Anand and 100. It has accepted, and I have shown you the data as well. It was showing, and you all were convinced that yes, data is coming. Line number 14, same script, nothing I have changed. Okay, just I changed name from Anand to Tanvir. I got some error message, value too large for columns this, actual 7, maximum 5. Anyone who wants to explain this, what is the reason? Apply your common sense and tell me. Yeah.
The
Because
reason
we are
is you have
restricting
applied only 5 characters.
For the
Like you have
variant,
mentioned in
for
the
the
varchar
varchar.
2 of 5, it can take only up to 5
up to 5
characters,
characters.
not
Yeah.
more than that.
Basically, allocate for the length of the space.
I think the space is allocated whenever you are writing any, like varchar only 5
Good.
spaces allocated for that. You cannot go beyond that. Whenever you are going beyond that, it will throw error.
Good. See, you all have answered the question, right? So here in varchar 2, here I mentioned 5. So it means I am allocating only 5 space. When I was trying to insert Anand, in Anand you see how many characters are there. A, first character, N, second character, again A, third character, again N, fourth character, then D, 5 character. So here you are telling that I'm creating a column n and you are given only 5 space. So in Anand, 5 characters were there. So your SQL engine has accepted it. Everything was fine. But when I'm trying to insert name Tanvir, SQL engine has thrown error message. The reason is when you have created this salary table, you have allocated only 5 space, okay, for this name. But here, how many characters you are passing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 characters. So that is why SQL engine is telling that Tanvir, actual you are trying to pass 7 characters, but maximum space what I have is 5 only. So sorry, I cannot accept this data. Okay, that is why this is throwing this error message. So hope you understood the significance of this 5 and 50 and why I'm telling you always to keep 50 and hope it is clear.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so this is the reason. But again, I'm not, many other concepts are there in this. I'm not going into that. We will deviate from the topic. But you answered, so I thought that okay, let's tell that. Hope it is clear to everyone. Okay. What else I was telling? I forgot. Okay. So if any column is integer, it will accept only integers. If you have mentioned a column as varchar 250 or 100, okay, so you can pass characters or strings, anything, that's not a problem. Any question on this? Then I will proceed further.
In this employee tables, the data is in not in ordered form. So why like
Data is not in ordered form. Oh, I think you are telling that when I'm writing, when I'm executing select a star from employee, this is not in ordered form. This is what you're asking, no?
Yes.
Okay. We will see this. Okay, we have a command order by. Okay, in SQL we have a command order by. Let me show you that. Where is that? Agenda June. You can see we have a command order by. When I will explain this order by, no, then I will tell you that how you can sort this either in ascending order or descending order, how to use case in order by, and all those things. Okay, so for the time being, please leave this. Okay, we will, when I will go to that order by concept, I will tell you. Okay, is that clear?
Okay.
If you are asking that how SQL is throwing only 2 at the top, why 3 is coming at the bottom, then there is a concept of row ID and all those things. So that is not required for you guys. Okay, and don't get confused with all those stuffs. Okay, but yes, I will tell you if you want to sort in ascending order, descending order, a lot of things are there. And I will teach you order by maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow. We will see that. Okay. Any other question, guys?
Yeah, hi Tanvir. Have you select any database before creating this table?
Here you don't have to select in a database on Oracle platform. On SQL Server, if you're working, so here you can select a database, and in your real project, whatever you are working, you might have seen that you will be writing something like that, DBO dot, right, or some staging dot, right. So in that case, you have to select a particular database and then you have to select the table of that particular database. But here in Oracle, we don't have to select any database. Just you have to create a table and you execute the query. Is that the question you asked? Have I answered?
Yes.
Okay. Any other question?
So database is similar like schema, no? Tanvir, matlab,
This
what
is
you are
like a
telling.
schema. You have to mention this schema name when you're working in project now. So in your project, your development team, they will tell you that in which schema you are working. So you just mention that schema and then dot and then the table name because you have multiple schema and maybe like the same employee is present in multiple schema. That is possible. So that's why you have to mention the schema name. So a SQL engine will go to this particular schema and then it will search for this employee table. Okay.
Clear.
Any other question? Okay, before I answer other questions, I want to explain one more concept here. So far you understood this one, that integer varchar to what it will accept, what it will not accept. One more thing I want to explain you. Suppose now I want to insert a record with ID 5 and name is E. Okay, and salary is 500. And suppose the location here is Mumbai. Okay, and department is Tech HR. Okay, this is what I'm trying to insert. Now suppose in this HR I remove this quotes. Okay, I remove the quotes. Now I'm trying to execute it. It is throwing error message. The reason is whenever you are trying to insert any string or character, that must have to be within quotes. That must have to be within quotes. If you will not keep it within quotes, the SQL engine will throw error message. That is what I have shown you here. Now I kept this HR in quotes. Now I'm executing it. Now see the output. Now see it is accepting it. So what we understood from this is whenever you are trying to insert a character or a string, that must have to be within quotes. If you want to cross verify the data, you can check it. You see employee ID 5 E 500 Mumbai HR, it is inserted now, correct? Again I'm repeating, don't get confused with this pattern. Why 2 is displayed at the top, why 4 is displayed after that? You have order by, through that we can control it, you can customize it. Okay. Then you can ask a question that fine, then for characters or strings you told that quotes is mandatory, but what about numbers? Suppose I want to insert a new record 6 and name is F. Suppose salary is 600 and suppose he's again from Mumbai and department is suppose same HR. Okay, so here you are not keeping this number in quotes. You can see in all these examples the numbers I have not kept within quotes, right? But suppose by mistake I kept it within quotes, what will happen? Okay, let me show you this. It will accept it. Let's verify the data. Select star from employee. You see 6F 600, this record is accepted. So what we understood, numbers if you want you can keep in quotes, if you don't want remove the quotes, that is not a problem. But characters or strings, it is mandatory to keep it within quotes. Okay, any question so far?
Yeah, I think, but in SQL, it won't accept single
Which
quotes
one?
for in SQL, it won't accept single quotes for integer types.
In SQL Server you are telling, no?
Yes, in SQL Server.
SQL Server I will tell you that.
Okay.
When I will tell you explicitly this integer and this difference, no, then I will tell you that in SQL Server what is the behavior.
Yes.
There are little bit differences are there, I know. In many, like when I will teach you in string function, it doesn't work on SQL Server. Then you have to use char index and all those things we will discuss. Okay, so far so good. Now one last concept I will discuss and then I will close the session for today. You see, SQL is case sensitive or not? Okay, very important question. SQL is not case sensitive for reserved and user defined keyword. Like see here, insert, I have written all these things in lowercase, no, right? Into all these things are in lowercase, employee everything is in lowercase, values everything is in lowercase. But suppose someone has written like this. Someone written like this. Like this. So here you can see everything is in uppercase. Here I have mixed the case, lowercase, uppercase, and all those things. What do you think? If I will run this, it will be executed or it will throw error message? What do you think, guys?
Executed.
It will execute.
It will execute. Let me show you this. See, one record is inserted. So this table name, the column name, this reserved keywords, you are free. You can write in uppercase or lowercase. This is not in this. This is not Python or Unix where you have to be case sensitive. This things, column name, table name, reserved keywords, you can write in uppercase or lowercase, your wish. Nobody is going to stop you. That is not a problem. Okay, but the data, these all are data. Data is case sensitive. I will discuss this in detail tomorrow, why it is case sensitive, and we will see some proof for that as well. The data is case sensitive. If you are inserting Mumbai, okay, and if you're writing Mumbai like this, so SQL will consider this both as different. Okay, this Mumbai and this Mumbai, they both are different. And if you're writing like this, again, it is different. So data which you are trying to insert, this is case sensitive. You will see that how to handle the case sensitive. We will use uppercase, lowercase, and all those things. Okay, so I will stop here, guys. So far we have seen that how to create a table, what is the syntax, how many columns you can keep in a table, there is no restriction. And then after each and every column, you have to mention the data type. As of now, I have taught only two data type, int and var-char2, 50 or 100, whatever you want, you can keep it. I have not explained other data types in detail now. We will discuss down the line. Okay. Then I have shown you that you can use this describe command, describe and the table name. So SQL engine will show you the structure of the table. Okay. And then we have seen how to insert data in a table. That this is the syntax. You can use this to insert data in a table. Okay. And then we have seen that if you have mentioned a column as integer, so it must accept integer only. You cannot pass character or string. It will throw error message. But if some column is var-char2, it can accept integer or character string, whatever you want, it can accept it. Now, last is if you want to see the data in a table, you have to use this command, select a star from, and then the table name. So SQL engine will show you all the records, all the columns of that particular table. Okay. Any question? Final call. Do you have any question either from this topic or from the course or curriculum perspective?
Tanvir, one query. When we say that we have only read-only access, so at that time, can we use insert function?
No. In your project, if you have read-only access, then you cannot create, you cannot insert. Okay. For that, you have to raise a request. You have to connect with the DB of your team, and you have to tell them that I want read-write access. Once you have read-write access, then only you can create table and insert table. Then they will ask the justification that why you want write access, because generally they in a project they will not give write access to everyone, because there are chances that maybe you can modify the data. Okay, so then you have to give some strong justification for that why you want write access. And if possible, I will suggest you get the write access, give some strong justification and give the write access. You can try this on your official platform as well. You can create table, you can insert. Once you have practiced this, because many times it happens, you're working in a project, you have a free time, okay, you don't have any task. You can practice on this platform, whether you're working on Oracle. I think you all will be having Oracle or Microsoft SQL Server Postgre on your official laptop. So when you have free time, create table, insert data, and start practicing. Once you have practiced it, you delete the table. I will tell you how to delete and all those things. So get the right access if possible. Okay. But in production, they will not give you that access. Okay. Don't ask in production. Ask in dev environment or test environment. Okay. Have you answered your question? This is what you're asking?
Yeah, Tanvir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other question?
Is this training related to Oracle SQL or Microsoft SQL also?
I mentioned in the very beginning that during my entire course, I will teach you on Oracle as well as SQL Server. Why I have chosen these two only? Because these two are frequently used. But I am not telling that this topic or whatever I am teaching, it is applicable only on Oracle and Microsoft SQL Server. You are free. You practice anywhere on any platform. Okay, because SQL is a generic one. This has been given by ANSI. SQL is not the language of any particular vendor. ANSI is a team who is defining the behavior of this SQL, the different keywords. There are certain reserved keywords of each and every vendor. We will discuss that. Okay, but the straight answer is you can practice this on whatever platform you want. You practice it. That's not a constraint here. Okay.
Sir, is Teradata?
You can practice on Teradata, Netezza, everywhere.
Okay.
You see, Teradata, why we have brought Teradata? The reason only of Teradata is it can handle huge volume of data, because that was the restriction with Oracle and SQL Server. That's what Teradata came into picture. Otherwise, SQL, what you're writing here, same SQL you will write on Teradata as well. Okay, even Netezza, those are working on Agility Netezza, it will work there as well. If you're working on Snowflake, it will work there as well. If you're working on a Hive SQL, it will work there as well. Because I have worked on this platform, on this databases, that's why I'm telling you this will work there. Any other question?
Can we get a certificate at the end of course completion?
We are working on that. Okay, but I cannot commit as of now. Okay, but even like suppose once your course is over, and once we are ready with the certificate, we will distribute it. Okay, but right now I cannot commit that when we can give the certificate to you.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Any other question?
Yeah. Until once we create table and insert data into a table, so can we run command like describe table instead of select start from employee?
See,
Describe
what
is
all
also
describe and select a stuff. You see, once you have created table and once you have inserted data, okay, or suppose you created table. Once you have created table, after that you can write describe. You can run this. It will show you the structure. Even after creating table, you can write select a start from employee as well. Even if no data is there, you have not inserted any data, you can run this. What will happen? This will not give you any data because data is not there, but this will be executed. This will not throw any error message. But table must be there. If the table is not there, okay, suppose if I am writing and describe department, okay, have I created any department table so far? No, I have not created any department table now. So now I am asking SQL engine to describe department table. So it will throw error message that the object department does not exist because I have not created this table. Then how SQL can show it to me? Okay, is that
Can
clear?
you
That is
run
what was.
describe employee command once? Describe employee.
You see.
Now, yeah.
So if you're running this, it will show you the structure of describe employee because it is present in the database.
So only the structure or the whole table?
No, it will show the structure. Describe is for the
Okay.
structure only.
Okay.
Describe is for the structure. If you want to see the data, then you have to execute this one. Select a star from employee. It will show you the data only. So it is showing you the data, whatever you have inserted so far. Okay. Have I answered your question?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other question, guys?
Yeah.
Tanvir, yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead. Yeah.
Go ahead. Shall I? Or
Okay.
you?
Where we can find this? I mean, do you have any recording sessions will be downloaded or
Yeah.
else?
After each and every class, we have a Google Drive. We will share the Google Drive link. But today is a demo class, so maybe we will upload on YouTube and we will share that link with you guys. But down the line from tomorrow onwards, those who has reserved the seat and those who are member of the target group, we used to create a separate Google Drive link. Okay, and that Google Drive on a daily basis, you will get the recordings, classroom notes, and the assignments. I will show you the structure. You see, these all are the assignments. On a daily basis, the dates will be there. For each and every date, assignments will be there. We will copy this assignment in that Google Drive link, and then you will be getting some classroom notes. You see, hands-on is there. I will show you one hands-on. So this kind of hands-on, what we have done in the class, we will share on a daily basis, and then the recording. These 3 documents we will share on a daily basis with each one of you. And class assignments will be like close to 10 assignments will be shared on a daily basis. One thing I want to tell you. That when you're working on assignment, suppose this is the assignment question I have given. Okay, when you're working on this, suppose you're working on this particular question. So what you have to do is you have to copy this question and execute it, write the query, whatever you want. Once you're done with that, then open an Excel sheet, copy the same question here, and whatever query you have executed, take the screenshot. Suppose this is the query, take the screenshot, the answer what you have written, take the screenshot and paste it here. And once you're done with all the questions, then in this Excel sheet, write the date of the assignment and your name, and then you can share on the WhatsApp to me only. Okay, no need to share this to Aditi. You can directly ping me on my personal window on WhatsApp. Then I will evaluate it, and then I will share the feedback that okay, which question, what is the problem, where you have done the mistake, and all these things. Have I answered your question?
Yes, Tanvir.
Okay. Any other question, guys?
Hey, hi, Tanvir. Also,
Yeah.
as you mentioned, that table name is insensitive, right? It's not case sensitive. So suppose I have given one table name as uppercase as I'm employee and another one as lowercase as employee. Is that possible? Or, I mean,
Very good question. Very good question. Suppose, see, here I have already created a table employee earlier, right? So now I am trying to create a table employee with the uppercase. Okay. Now when I will execute, and suppose I have only 3 or 4 columns. Okay. Now when I will execute this, the SQL will throw error message. Let me show you this. It is throwing error message now. Name is already used by an existing object. Why? Because that is what I told you, that the table name is not case sensitive. Even if you're writing lowercase employee or if you're writing uppercase employee, it is one and the same. Okay, for the table name, column name, and the reserved keywords only. So when you are trying to create this table employee, you are thinking that you have written all in uppercase, but SQL engine will consider this and this both as same. So when you're trying to create this employee table, SQL engine is telling you that boss, already an employee table is present in the database. Why you are trying to create the same table again? Okay, you can see this error message is telling it is already exist. Correct. So that is why the table name is case. It is not case sensitive. You write in lowercase, uppercase, or mixed case, camel case. It will be one and the same. Have I answered question? Question.
Thanks.
Is that clear? Okay, but the data is case sensitive. I will discuss this tomorrow, why it is case sensitive and how to handle and what is the proof. We'll discuss this tomorrow. Okay. Any other question, guys?
Tanvir, one question actually. So now we are writing the create table as an employee, right? So it will store in the temporary things, or else if you can close and you can use.
No. When you are writing create table employee, now I'm not talking about this platform Oracle Live SQL because this is working through online. Okay, so here once you close the session, it will be removed. This is in temporary memory only. But when you're working in project, in your official project, once you have created this table, even if you will log off from your laptop, you close your laptop, switch off your laptop, once you will log in after 1 week, 1 month, still this table will be there. This will be permanently created. Okay, but on this platform, this we have connected through online, through net. Okay, so here once you will disconnect, it will be removed. Okay.
Okay.
And yeah, we have a concept of temporary table as well. When you will create temporary table, even if you're working in official laptop, okay, in official project, and if you have created temporary table, so once you log off, the temporary table will be deleted. And when I will tell you CTU expression, in that again you are creating temporary table. So once you have executed that query, after that you will execute again, that will be lost. So those concepts we will discuss down the line. Okay, any other question, guys? Okay, I think we don't have another question. So fine then, Aditi will share the today's classroom recordings with you guys, and tomorrow we will share a new link. And let me know if you have any question. You can connect with me on my personal window WhatsApp as well. If you have any official down the line, if you have any problem with the assignment and then classroom notes, the recording is not accessible, something like this. So please connect with Aditi. She takes care of all these things, admin and operations part. Okay. So thank you guys. Thanks a lot for joining this course. Hope you'll be getting some fruitful learning experience down the line. Thank you. Take care. Bye.
Thanks, Tanvir.
Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, Tanvi.
Yeah. Hi. Yeah, tell me.
Can you please tell me in today's lecture, tomorrow's lecture, can you cover the basics of SQL?
Sorry, didn't get your question. Can you repeat, please?
Can you please cover in tomorrow lecture the basics of SQL?
Basics of SQL means, can you elaborate? What basics
What
of
is a
system?
Oracle? What is SQL?
Oh,
PSQL?
okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Fine. Sorry. I will explain that tomorrow. No problem. Okay, so see, actually, Oracle, Microsoft, and all those things, no, they are different vendors.
Okay.
Like you have a car. Okay, now car companies Tata, Maruti, Hyundai, Honda, right?
Yes,
They are
yes.
the different companies, but the process how you are driving a car is same. You have accelerator, brake, and clutch. Correct?
Yes.
So it is like that only. SQL is same. They are the different vendors. So
Okay.
Microsoft is one vendor. They have given the SQL server. Oracle is another vendor. They have given Oracle platform. And then you have different Nitiza is different vendor. They are different vendors. Okay. But SQL is common irrespective of the vendors on whatever you are working. So in some projects, some MNCs, some offices, they will use Oracle. Some of them, they will use Microsoft SQL Server. Some of them will use Netezza. And nowadays, you are seeing Snowflake is in, everyone is using Snowflake. So that is the only difference. Okay, but we have the concept of a structured data, unstructured data, and all those things. So we'll discuss that down the line.
Okay. And what is a PLSQL?
PLSQL is like a procedural language of SQL. So SQL, what we are studying now, okay, or else I will explain tomorrow, okay, because all the participants will be there, no? I know this is a common, like many of the students who are new, they will get confused. I will discuss this tomorrow in detail, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, bye.